Welcome to Still Talking Uncut. I'm your host for the evening, Uncle Joey. I think Big Easy got detention. He's doing online schooling, and I think he got detention. So he won't be joining us tonight. Up in the corner, we've got Master Distiller Sean Rigsby. We've got Matt Lemaster below me, and we have the Wine to Shine episode winner, Master Dinner Clara Robbins Ward. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah. We really appreciate you coming on and chatting with us. We've been fortunate here lately. We've been grabbing some of the Master Distiller winners and having them on, and I was really happy that you agreed to come on and chat with us. So thank you very much.
Of course, I love to yap, so I'm always open.
Well, listen, you're on the right spot because we do the same. Well, Matt doesn't talk at all, just so you know.
I just sit here and be weird.
Okay. Well, at least I know that ahead of time.
Oh, man.
Well, see, he drinks Ensures during the podcast, so he's got to get at least 2 Ensures in.
That's what I've heard. That's like the word on the street.
Yeah, it happens. So tell us a little bit about yourself and kind of what got you started and where you came from. Before we get started, I heard you say you were from Alabama on your Master Distiller. Where in Alabama?
Birmingham.
Okay. My son and his wife live in Athens, Alabama.
Oh, okay. Very cool. Yeah, my whole family is split between like from Birmingham to Atlanta. So
nice. We're going to be down there here in just a couple of weeks, so I'm kind of excited. So I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I saw in your thing, I was like, you were from Alabama to Kentucky to Florida?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yes. Okay. So I will let you continue. I'm sorry. Continue.
No, you're good. So I'm Clara Robbins. I am from Alabama. I went to the University of Alabama. So I'm a big Roll Tide girl. But the fall has been a really dark time for me this year. So, but I went to Alabama. I studied chemical engineering and mathematics. So when I graduated, I learned how to distill in college because we learned it in a chemical engineering lab. And then I got picked up from Castle and Key to come up and distill for Mary and Eve's back then. So I was distilling up in Kentucky, making, I started in whiskey and then got picked up and sent to gin school to become a gin specialist when I was there. So I became a gin specialist, making all of the new recipes and seasonal things that we were coming out with. And then I hated the cold. I lasted like 3 winters and I was like, I got to get the F out. So I moved down to Florida, and which is when I started working for St. Petersburg Distillery. And the whole goal there was like redevelop their gin because their gin wasn't selling at all. They had really bad remarks on it. So I redeveloped that gin and then made it an award winner the following season. And just kind of moved around from there. I ended up starting my own distillery in Sarasota, Florida, Good Liquid Distilling Company. And just recently was given the opportunity to come back to St. Petersburg Distillery as their master distiller. And I was all for it. So now I'm back at St. Petersburg.
Well, that is awesome. That's kind of That's kind of a little wild little circle there.
But always in the Southeast. Like, I don't think I can leave the Southeast.
Understandable.
Yeah.
The weather is definitely a little nicer than what we have up here.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. It was like 75 degrees today. So.
Well, we had 80-degree weather yesterday, but now it's 38 today. So
yeah.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
So you said I heard you say so your passion is gin. You really like making gin?
Yeah. I've always been interested in gin because there's just so much that goes into the recipe development part. So I learned, up in Kentucky, I went to like this gin school put on BDAS and in Lexington, and then just fell in love. I was like star pupil, like loving life up there. And then I love blending, making new gins. So I created this whole isolate library down in St. Pete, and I just blend gin all the time.
So how did you get that in love with gin? I mean, how did that start? Was it like from drinking it, or was it from your time in college? You know what I mean? Was it that aspect of it?
I think it's just I'm a musician, so I feel like it's like you're making just like a song, like you're building something, putting it together, you taste it as you go. And it just, when I'm in the act of actually building a gin, just dropping little droplets of orris root and green cardamom, I'm just like I could just go to another level, and I'm just like lit in a totally different way. So when I'm putting those together, it's just, that lights me up. So then I just couldn't stop.
Gin is a very interesting spirit. I've had some gin that I've absolutely will never drink again.
Yeah.
And here recently, we had a guy from here in Ohio, Seven Brothers Distillery, Kevin Stutman, and I was given a bottle of their gin. And I'm gonna tell you what, I have a different opinion of gin now. So I think it's something that it got a bad rap maybe early on in my drinking days. Some of the gins that I had. And I've had some of the more modern style gins, and maybe they're a little different. Maybe some of the botanicals are a little bit different, but I really like this bottle that I have. So I'm intrigued, and I'm going to have to talk with Mark, and I'm going to have to get a bottle of gin my way.
Yeah, for sure. I know that's my favorite. What I love is when people come in saying that they hate gin. It tastes like a Christmas tree. I'm like, oh, you haven't had my gin. You have no idea what you're in for. Because I lean towards like an American style, a contemporary style gin. So lighter on the juniper, and I go heavier and just find a little bit more balance between these contemporary style botanicals. So like the one that I ended up getting double gold for was it's tropical gin. So it leans more towards like green floral freshness and tropic fruit instead of having like so much juniper. It has a very low concentration of juniper, and it's whole juniper, so you don't get a whole lot of pine from it. And then the roots you just play around with, because they'll bring out different things. Like instead of angelica root, I used orris root. Very similarly, can be used interchangeably, but orris root is a little bit lighter, not so woodsy or earthy, and it gives you more of like a floral note instead. So that's like more of the direction that I tend to go to. And the next one after that was orange gin, which is obviously, if it's like the color is orange, but all natural. So it was the first completely naturally flavored colored orange gin on the market, which is all done with orange peels, dried and fresh. And that comes from a London dry style. But then with the infusion after, it just makes it a little funky. So I just love to sell people on gin.
I'd be interested.
I mean, I was a little bit sold from drinking this, and now you've just increased it 100%. So
Good.
I'm very intrigued now, and it's all about building a good cocktail, and I really think that's what gin is. Whiskey's, a lot of people drink it neat, maybe with an ice cube or in a cocktail. But with gin, it's pretty much a cocktail drink. I mean, I don't know many people.
I mean, I will say you can just drink it on its own. That's fine, but people tend to do it in a gin and tonic, which is why, like, when you're developing a recipe for a gin, you have to try it in a gin and tonic. And I tend to do a Negroni also, because that's what you're going to find more than anything else on a menu. So you have to see if it'll hold up in those cocktails for it to be like worth putting in a bottle.
And that's the biggest thing. If you can make a spirit that holds up in a good cocktail, that right there, that, and it sounds to me like gin is a big seller in Florida. I'm guessing. I mean, it's a big seller all over, but I'm sure it's a big seller in Florida. It's I want to say it's got the stigma of more of an older person's drink, the gin and tonic. So I know Florida has
there's a new generation that's coming on, and
absolutely. And it seems like there's now a new style of distillers that's bringing a new younger group to the gin market.
I was gonna say, I thought the older person's drink was them insurers.
Them liquid pudding cups.
That's right.
Yeah.
I need pudding cups, guys. Come on.
Yeah. But I knew, since I love gin so much, I knew that with the show, I was going to have to go into a gin to be able to wipe everybody out.
So how did the show come about for you?
So I did not apply. I just got a call and they asked me if I'd be interested in joining. And I was like, I don't know. I think so. But like, it's just not the right time for me. And because this happened like, I don't know, maybe like 3-4 years ago. And like, I was given a call and they were on a very early season and they were pitching me all these different episodes. And I'm like, I'm not going to be good at that. I'm not going to be good at that. I'm not going to be good. That's not my wheelhouse. That's not my wheelhouse. So I just kept on saying no. And I'm like, well, but I'll think about it another time for the next season. Just like, if you find anything that I would like you to just shoot it my way. And they eventually, I found like there were 2 episodes that they pitched to me that I really liked. And it was the Beer Before Liquor and then the Wine Into Shine. And when they told me about those, I was like, well, I'm good with either of those. Whichever one you need me on, like that you need a body on, I will go to either of those because I think I could do well in either. Because I also have this background in beer because I was brewing for a while with my my last company with Good Liquid. I was partnered with a brewery, so I was doing all of their beer production and all of this beer production. So I'm like, I think I could tackle this one too. And they told me that they asked me if I had distilled wine before. And at the time I was distilling wine every Friday. I was distilling a Chardonnay every Friday at the distillery just for like another wine company. And so they figured it would be a good fit, which was really nice because like the show, like that episode was so open-ended. Like you distill it to whatever you want. Like at the end, the final is just whatever you want to make. And I'm like, well, this is great. I can do exactly what, I am comfortable doing, which is distilling Chardonnay and turning it into a gin. I haven't done that before, but I know I can make gin and I know I can distill Chardonnay, so I can figure out how to do them together, except I've never done it on a small scale. I had never distilled on something so small before, except for like in a lab on like a lab scale still. But
so did you have a pretty good notice that you were going to actually be on? Did you have a chance to become familiar with the smaller still?
I did have a good notice. I did not utilize that time.
That's fair.
I definitely should have done that. But my husband and my father-in-law, they build distilleries. And like, so I met them in a distillery. And so I would just pick their brains about like, like, what do I do? How do I put these things together? I don't know how do these little stills work? And so they had like gave me like tips and tricks and stuff. But it ended up not even being that difficult because there's just all tri-clamp together. And
I was going to say, did they give you a tri-clamp course?
Well, I built Good Liquid with my business partner, like from the ground up, like put in all of the glycol lines and, obviously, and everything was tri-clamped. I built my still before, like, so I'm like, this was actually a lot easier than I thought it would be to put it together.
So I
did not
nervous?
Need a course in tri-clamps.
So the first time you fired the burner up and ran the copper pot, was it nerve-wracking for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone saw my like shock in the poof. I'm like, I just wasn't expecting anything. So, and it's also hot as heck there. So I'm just like sweating the whole time.
You can say it. You can, you don't hold back. You can say it. We heard everybody say it. They said it is hot as hell in that place, man. They said,
I had no idea it was going to be that bad. And so they're constantly like making jokes about like, Clara, you need to go cool off. Like I got to be like tight with the sound guy because I would constantly have to like go to the back, change my shirt. He would have to rehook me up like every like.
Was it Jorge?
I would just.
Or was it George?
He was a short, bald man.
Oh, with like a little gray beard?
Yeah.
Yep, that was him. He passed away.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's so sad.
Yeah.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah,
I have
absolutely.
wonderful memories of him.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Man.
He's a great guy.
Yeah, our buddy Bennett that was just on when we watched his episode, his face was like bright red. We were all busted.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, you looked like you were about to pop. He's like, in the neck of his shirt where he had sweat, the neck of his shirt was like this big. Yeah, it was awesome.
You know, they tell us like to they recommended like wearing black shirts, and that just went in and out. Like I did not take that. Honestly, if I were to do again, I would just wear like a tank top and like short overalls and just wear like as little clothing as possible because it's so hot there.
Yeah. So it's kind of comical. I feel like that the burner that you got, there's one burner that when it lights, it blows out. Like
Yeah.
And that there's little things that they do. Was there anything that did you notice, like was your valve open, or was there anything that happened during filming that, you know, that they were trying to see if you guys were paying attention?
Yeah, the water to the condensers, like the valve, like the hose was closed off to like at the wall. And so, which I mean, like, why would we look over at the wall to like see if the water is already hooked up to the valve? Because like there's a valve at the end, so we would be able to just open it up. So the valve's open, and I would be having water go through my condenser, but yeah. And so before I know it, and this was like, you know, when I was first getting it rolling, and I didn't know really what to check, and I noticed that it was getting hot. And it just kept on getting hotter, and it was not cooling down. I'm like, this is not good. It should be cold right now. So then I found out, and I was holding back my little bitch fit to like, what the fuck are you trying to do to me?
You see, I feel like we've talked to these, you know, some of you master distiller contestants, and they throw little curveballs at you guys. Yeah. You know, they want to see if you're paying attention, I guess. And, you know, it's kind of shitty, but at the same time, I get it's competition.
It's for TV.
Yeah. It's for TV. There you go. It's for TV.
We had this challenge leading up to this, like leading into the show. The first thing that we did was a taste test of all the ciders before we actually chose our ciders, because we chose them before, like that wasn't shown on the show or anything. But we had a taste test and list off like all the fruits that we tasted in all the ciders. And obviously apple is in cider, but like nobody put apple for any of the ciders. Like, but it was like apple grape, like apple pear, apple watermelon, lemon. And like all of us were just like watermelon, grape. Like, no, like none of us ever even like, they were like, well, of course apple is in all of these ciders, and we're all like, oh my god, so fucking dumb. We're so fucking dumb. So that's how I felt.
It was kind of wild that they chose watermelon to have the highest ABV, and watermelon carries over the least when you distill it.
The least.
So.
Yeah, I know. So I noticed the ABVs when I was looking at the cans, like when we were like after we tasted them. But in general, when I was tasting it, I could tell that one was the hottest, and so I'm like, well, I really hope I would like to get that, because that one's going to give me a lot of alcohol. Yeah. And then I saw the cans and they were talking through the proofs and everything. And so I'm like, well, that one's got like a high ABV. That one's going to give a lot of proof. And I'm like, why am I telling people this? I don't. So I, you know, I'm like, I'm going to do the watermelon. And then, you know, Gino's like, I'm going to do the watermelon. It gives a high, I'm like, oh, Clara, I keep these things.
So when you were in college, what was your goal at the time? Like, were you wanting to get into distilling at the time, or something different?
I wanted to do water purification. So I knew that I wanted to do flow dynamics, and I did go into fluid flow dynamics, and I did try out water for a little while. So like in between, like while I was going through with Good Liquid, on the side I was working for a water treatment company, and I was like, this is what I always wanted to do. I have to try it. I have to do this. And I lasted 2 years, and I hated it. I was like, this is actually not fun at all. and everyone likes my job before. Why? And nobody cares about my job anymore. So I did go through with water purification, and it just wasn't for me. But
that's fair.
Distilling, so all's well.
So if you were making something for yourself to drink and it wasn't gin, what would it be?
I think I drink more, like I drink a lot of agave. So it would probably end up being agave. Not that I've completely mastered that, but I love playing around with it. So that's something that I like to play with the most because I have been interested in learning more about it. That would probably be my route. It's not going to stand next to anything else that I make that well, but it's nice. But I've been doing that a lot in a lot of flavored rums. But like my thing is like I don't buy flavors. I don't buy any additives. Like I want everything to be done completely natural. So like finding a cool way to infuse it, which like I've learned how to do because of gin. Like gin is all like I use vapor infusion and maceration. So I use those tools to make really cool other spirits,
So is agave something that possibly could end up on St. Petersburg Distillery shelf?
I would like to. It's so funny. There's so many things that they want to pull out, like that they want to send out. Like we have a lot of new liqueurs that are coming out. So I'm working on a strawberry liqueur, grapefruit, and passion fruit, and then a lot of RTDs because RTDs are so hot. But we haven't like tapped into agave that much. So I would love to go in that direction, especially because like everybody loves tequila. Everybody. Tequila is not going down at all. Like it's so stable in the market. So that would be a really great and fun next step for me personally. I would love that. And I think that it would stand really well in, across our lineup because that's like the only thing that's missing.
I see those RTDs are really starting to hit the shelves a lot. You said you guys have one at St. Petersburg?
Yeah, we're developing a line of RTDs. So we have an espresso martini that's coming out and then a couple different styles of old fashions.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, so that'd be nice.
So you make your own whiskey there and you guys blend as well, correct?
Yeah, so we have these brand new huge silos for like new grain silos that I'm dying to play around with. So, but yes, so we're developing a lot of our own whiskeys, our own bourbons, all from grain there. We have a lot of things that we still have like in the tanks, like from rectifying also. So trying to figure out a way to blend it all in and maybe, put those things in some RTDs and then have our own things going into bottles.
I'm drinking on a bottle that a friend of mine sent me, this Old St. Pete premium whiskey, and it's very smooth. It's a very good whiskey.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been I'm excited mainly to like the coolest part about going back there is redeveloping a lot of recipes that, I was not a part of in the last few years and getting back into it and, making it more of like what I would like to see out of them. It's kind of like what happened with the gin. Like when I saw the tropical gin, tried it, isn't it? And so I had to fix it. And it just obviously turned out great. It was one of the top 5 gins in the world that year. And I am like really excited to see what I can do with all of these. They're like all like little children that I just want to like help grow up, like send you off to college, like be successful. And yeah, so all of them will have like a little help.
Well, that had to make you feel good, taking a gin and turning it into an award-winning gin. So that right there, you knew you were in the right direction. Yeah.
Yeah. I know that felt so great. I think that was the most like validated I felt in the industry was like when I saw that, like one of my gin instructors from gin school, he was the one that reached out to me to tell me because I beat one of his gins that he had on the that he had in the competition. So he saw it and he's in New Zealand. And he called me in the middle of the night to tell me. And I'm just like running around the distillery screaming that like, I just want double gold. And so that was a really great feeling. And then of course, like winning the show was so good. I mean, I was going through the show, sweating my ass off the whole time, like, because I'm hot, but also like I'm stressed as fuck because I just wanted everything. Like I felt like I had so much pressure on me that like, you know, everyone else, like they all wanted to win because like they had something to prove, but like I could not, like, I would have had I have so much more to lose coming in at the stage that I'm already at. And if I lose, then oh my gosh, I would not be able to handle it. So I was just stressed out the whole time. I mean, like people were, you know, getting dinner, going for drinks after filming. And I'm like, I'm just in my hotel room watching videos, studying, trying to figure things out. And I'm like not sleeping the whole week and trying to, you know, make sure that I'm doing my best. And I just kept on saying in all my interviews, I'm like, if I know that if I make it to the end, I will win. I just have to make it to that last round. But I know that if I make it there, I will win. And like, I just kept on telling them that. Not that they cared to share that, but I knew that I would win if I made it to that last round, which did get a little questionable because Chuck's spirit in the, like, when we went into the elimination round, it actually was really good. And you know, he was like just a quiet horse, you know, he's so nice. And I didn't think, you know, anything of it. I'm just like, this guy's so great. Like we're going to learn together. I'm going to learn how to, you know, home shine, and he's going to learn how to do everything else. And oh my gosh, it was so incredible. I tried that, and I'm just going in like confident, like, okay, I'll be fine. And after we submitted our jars, and then I tried his, I smelt it first, and I was like, oh shit. and I tried, like, and then I just started like getting in my head, and I was freaking out, thinking like, oh my gosh, what if I don't make it? Like, what if it? Because I could just not make it. And so I was questioning things a lot, especially because it's going on for days, and you leave in the middle, like, you know, in the middle of a elimination, and like, and you're just left thinking about it all night long. Like, what happens if like I go in the next morning and then they're like, okay, goodbye. Man, so I was just racing in my head the whole time, but yeah, once I got to the end and I started tasting all the gin that was coming off the still, I was so confident then. I was like, oh yeah, I'm good. Don't worry about me. I'm fine now.
Well, I mean, you definitely seemed, you know, once it got going, yeah, you knew. I mean, when it tastes good, and you know what's coming out is what it's supposed to taste like. You're like, okay, Then it's just a matter of
where you were going, and you were spot on with where you were wanting to go.
Right,
that was obvious watching.
Yeah, thank you. I brought a whole suitcase of botanicals. Like they told us that we could bring stuff for our final round, and so I checked a bag of botanicals, and then a hydrometer just in case. But obviously that wasn't.
I broke mine too, but I broke it. I put it in my back pocket. Someone come up and started talking to me, so I stuck my back pocket and then sat down. I was like, well, fuck. Guess I'm not going to use this.
No. Yeah, I was like, maybe they'll let me, and they're like, no, that's not gonna. No. So here I am, like, you know, somebody who's like used like Anton Par and hydrometers all my life, and they're like, you got to shake it. I'm like, what am I learning from this?
I was going to ask that. I was going to ask if you did any jar shaking, any practicing before the show.
Yeah, I mean, kind of, but like, I didn't really learn anything from it. And I did plenty of research and like videos and stuff, but like, I feel like with that, you just need like a lot of time.
Just watch your hydrometer.
Take a lot of jars.
As you're making runs. That's the only way I could learn how to do it. And I still ain't any good at it.
Yeah. So that's why they're, you know, the entire time, like the first 2 jars, they were so hot. The first one was intentional. Like, I proofed it down with water. I tried proofing it down with water, and I did not like the way it tasted. So I kept it high. Cause I mean, that's what you learn in like proof evaluation of like what you're going to send to a bottle. Like, you have to taste it at its proof. Like, what proof does it taste best at? And so I left it high intentionally, but like I don't know. I feel like there's this connotation of like, if your proof is high, like you did it on accident, or like you didn't do it right or something. But that was intentional. And then the second one, I mean, like the entire time, I don't know what I'm seeing. And then like Tim was trying to help me out with it. And I'm like, I don't know. It's okay. I don't know. So the last round, I knew what I was tasting for. So I was like, I don't know how to read a fucking bead. I don't know what this means, but I know what it's supposed to taste like. So I just kept on adding water, like with a little thimble cap and tasting it, and then doing that until it tasted right. And I was shooting for 90 and it hit 92. Like, so I can taste, I just can't read a bead.
Now, did you get half lit like most people say they did?
No. Is that what people are saying? They just got lit?
No, not you, but Bennett. Like Bennett said,
Yeah.
By the end of the thing, he was pretty lit up. Yeah.
That's so funny. I did get very comfortable sitting on my bench. Every time that like they would come back and see me, like they would always ask me to like ask people questions. And like, I guess they can tell that I'm the yapper. So like, Clara asked, you know this, Clara asked Chuck this. And so before I did anything, before I knew it, I'm just like sitting on my bench with my feet like propped up on my stool. And I'm just like, I have like my little tin jaw, like my little tin cup in my hand, and just like chatting with them, sitting, just, loving life. And I was actually sipping on the wine. Like when I was done with it, I just started pouring it up and drinking on it.
It's funny. Both Justin Meredith and Daniel Stevens both said they were hammered, but they were, by the end of it, they were hammered. So it happens. It happens.
Yeah. I was also drinking a lot of water. They were bringing us so much water because we were just like sweating out of our clothes.
Yeah.
So, they were also pulling me behind like the judges table a lot. Like one of my producers was like, Clara, you're sweating. And so she would like pull me around back and like have the fan on me to like try to air myself out. The girl was looking out. Yeah, there's a lot of little scheming around.
What was your favorite part of filming that?
I think just trying something new, like doing like that was really cool. Like to know that like I've never done this before and I did it, and obviously did it well. I was like so laser focused on that the whole time. So that was interesting for me to be like in this environment where it's just me on my own. Like there's nobody in this, there's nobody like staying with me, helping me out. I don't have a team. It's just me. So I think doing something new was the best part, but also like getting to know everybody, like as you film with, another group, and everyone was just so nice. Like, so being able to hang out with people and like get to know like, where they came from, what they're doing in their distilling world. Cause I feel like I get into this like little bubble of like, the distilling world is so small, but I don't know like anybody in like home, like in Shining, like I know a lot of people in like large corporate distilleries, and like everyone knows each other. But it was so cool to like, I felt like I just stepped in another world. Like, I've never met any of these people. And that was really cool to me.
I tell you, the Shine community is an awesome community. And if you start getting yourself involved in some of the groups and show up at any of the events, I'm going to tell you, they'll welcome you in, and they're awesome people. So if you're not involved in any of it, and a lot of these groups they're not just shit talking groups, they're information groups. And it sounds like you're somebody that has knowledge that would be good to share with some of these groups. I know you're very busy. So if you get a chance, look into some of the Facebook Shiner groups and maybe find one that you're interested in, and maybe jump in it. And Sean has I got the sweatshirt on. Sean's got a distillers Still Talking Institute. He's got a distillers guild. He's got a group of distillers, and they help people, and they chat and they talk. They bounce ideas off each other, and they're there to help. So
Yeah.
It's a really cool thing.
I love that. I mean, like, 'cause obviously I deal with plenty of little curveballs every day in distilling, like trying to figure out why can't I, filtering. Like, filtering in a distillery, I feel like nobody talks about. Like, nobody tells you like what they're like, what's working for them, what's not, like if they're filtering at all. And like, I just want to know, like, I want people to be like, just tell me like what worked for you. Like, why can I not? Why do I have to sit here and plate filter this product 5 times for it to get anywhere? Like I would like to have like more of a, I'd like to get into this like little world of like just being able to help each other out, like figure out what's going on. Because right now it's like a lot of like me and then some of my like consulting friends and then ChatGPT, a lot of ChatGPT.
Well, I tell you, if you're truly interested, like I said, do some research, find you one of these groups, man. I'm sure they would love to have you as a person to share information.
But and a lot of these guys, they just experiment.
Yeah.
And filtering questions, you might be surprised. Some of us Hilljacks might be onto something that can help you out.
And vice versa.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, more the other way, but sometimes we get lucky and figure things out that.
Like maybe I don't. Yeah. Sometimes like I don't have the time to run through all of these different experiments, but like somebody else did. And I mean, it's all about helping each other out.
Even one little bit of information might make you think, "Oh, wait a minute, that's the right direction."
Yeah, being down in Florida, if you get a chance, the closest one to you would probably be Maggie Valley. If you get a chance, man, that'd be one to check out. Or you could come on up to Ohio and go to the Farm to Bottle Festival that we have up here. It's a pretty cool event that they have. But
very cool.
There's plenty of events that you could check out. That's for sure.
Yeah. The positive thing about, working for a company is that you can go to these things and they let you go. It's all about, like helping out your own, like helping out these products. Like
you're networking.
Yeah.
So does St. Petersburg distribute outside of the state, or is it craft, small craft, state Florida distributed?
We're in Florida right now. Before I left, initially, we were working on like all of the Southeast states. So we're still working on that. But it's like everything with RNDC is kind of up in the air right now because like they're being acquired. So distributing is like just in Florida is not like going super well right now. But after this acquisition, I think it'll help get some locals outside of the state.
Well, that's awesome. Hopefully we can start seeing some product up our way because this whiskey's pretty good. This is solid. Now I want to try some gin and some other things. Yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel about rum?
I love some good rum.
Mm-hmm. I just did. So we have this is a staple in the line. Like it's our Righteous Rum, which is a honey cinnamon rum. Ooh. And it's always been it's always super popular.
Wow.
But I've been able to, it's now mine. I've been able to take it over, and I am so particular about my cuts when it comes to heads, hearts, and tails. And so when I have ran these rum stills, they are they're coming out so clean, and like the quality is there. So it's like, I mean, it was always like really good, but it's like on another level now because it's just so clean. And then, so there's not any of those off aromas that are coming through before that I was getting in. So basically our St. Pete Distillery is like in a level up season. Like we're just like getting exponentially better. So quickly.
So is that honey cinnamon rum going to be in a barrel at all?
It has been in a barrel. There are some barrels that are being tested that we're tasting, seeing how they turn out.
So a St. Pete trip is going to have to happen. I think.
Yes.
Either that or Mark's going to be a busy man.
Yeah, because you're going to have to try this. This rum is top notch. It's so good.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, let me blend, and I'll make something good.
But and that's awesome that you're passionate about your blending as well.
Yeah.
You're a perfectionist in the distillation end, and then you're passionate about the blending. So
Yeah.
I'm sure you're going to do rather well
Yeah.
down there.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, like I'm a perfectionist. I'm not going to let anything go out that I'm like really, I could not stand behind. And, like, I'll keep it back and just, you guys can be short on that order because like, this ain't it. And so it's been really cool to like try out all these different things that I wasn't doing before. Like I wasn't deep in rum before or liqueurs, like I never really was working on any of those. I was predominantly gin, vodka, bourbons, ryes. And now I'm like, a cool little Florida girl making fruity stuff.
So you said something earlier about distilling wine, you said using Chardonnay. So you would use that and turn it into gin. Is that would the end result of the Chardonnay, or would you just be making a neutral?
Yeah, it was just to make brandy. But like, so I would distill it and then give it back to the winemaker, and he would turn it into brandy. Or sometimes he would use it to make like he's Italian, so sometimes he would make like limoncello or something, something along those lines. But he would send me the like totes of Chardonnay because he had ordered a lot of the Chardonnay that was just not to his standard, and so I was distilling it instead, which was great because when you're in a small distillery, you don't actually get that much time to distill, or at least that's what I felt like. I would produce all of this stuff because I had a great setup, great still, and I could produce a lot. But then I produce a lot, and then it sits for a while until it's all gone, and then a couple months later, I can make gin again. Okay, yeah. So like that was like keeping me busy in between like all of my distillation runs.
So when you were running on your own, how big a still were you guys using there?
It was a 400 liter still, and it had separate columns. So I put this all together like pretty much by myself, but we had the pot still, and then there's a 3-way line that you can redirect it to whatever column you want. There's a stripping still for vodka, a smaller column still, a vapor infusion basket, and then a condenser on the end. So I was working with a brewery and distillery equipment broker. That was my business partner. So I was able to design this still with the people out in China, and then went back and forth of like how this should be built, and then they shipped it down, and then I assembled it. So that was pretty cool. It was a really interesting day trying to get the column up because there was this much clearance between the top of the column and the roof. So and we had to, but like we can't pick it up, so we had to it was so interesting. I'm so glad that OSHA was not aware of us at the time. But yeah, it was that still is like the best still I've ever worked on in my life, and I would love to have one again for sure.
So how big a still do you have at St. Pete?
Oh, I have a lot. I have 5 stills, and the first 4 are pot stills that are between 300 gallons to 500 gallons, and then the last pot has a column on it, and that one is a 750 gallon still.
Wow.
Yeah. And then tons of tanks. We basically have a tank farm. So all of those are 5,000 gallon tanks. So our fermenters are 5,000 gallons. And the mash cooker is a little over that. And then some bottling tanks about the same. So there's a lot of storage in there. Yeah.
Sounds like you got a pretty good spot down there. Yeah.
Yeah. I know
Do
it's
you
just me
guys-
just running around. Like I just get to distill it all by myself.
Do you guys do stripping runs, or do you just do one run and done, or does it depend on what you're running?
It depends on what I'm running. So like the rum that I was just mashing was I would cook it, ferment, send it to the first 4 pots and distill those out for the low wines. And then I would send the low wines into this. It's a packed bed column still. So send it through there for the high wine run. And that's how I would do whiskey as well. I can get up to 190 in that still because I had my father-in-law build a deflator and put it on the top of that still. So I can control it. But it's for a long time. It's there for a good time, not a long time. Yeah. And then for gin on that side, we have a maceration tank. So basically, like instead of, it was so interesting. Like back in the day, I would put the botanicals in the pot, and then getting them out was a nightmare. but it tasted great doing that. And then we ended up building a maceration tank next to it. So like a colander, just like submerged in like 140 proof spirit, and would sit there for for gin I just need like 3 days, but for the orange, we have orange liqueur and a few other liqueurs, those sit there for about a week, but sits there and then pump it over so that like when you're done with it, it's just easy to dump, and that's been a game changer. I
So
will
how many
say that vapor infusion is the best way to infuse.
How many days of the week do you distill?
Right now I'm distilling, well, it depends on the production schedule, but right now I'm distilling twice a week, which is so much fun because like before, like I was not able to distill that much. So now that I'm like in this groove of like distilling every week, oh my gosh, it's so much fun. Yeah, I'm doing like Tippler's orange liqueur every week, especially because it's orange season. So like in Florida, you only have, a certain window to like pump out all your orange liqueur at once. So, so I'm distilling orange liqueur every single week.
You say orange liqueur. I know I just saw a video where Alan Bishop did something with fermented orange juice or something like that. It was very interesting. I don't know what, I'll have to dig more into it and see what he ended up doing with it. But I was going to ask, being from Florida, do much with oranges down there. Is that something that sells a lot? Does the orange liqueur, is it a big seller down there?
It's our number one seller for sure. And that's all over. I mean, in almost every bar that you go to in Florida, you'll see Tippler's orange liqueur. It's so popular. So that's why, and like strawberries, surprisingly, like, I mean, people in Florida know that strawberries are a big deal in Florida, but like everybody else out of Florida, I don't think that they understand how big strawberry season is in Florida. We have a strawberry festival. It's a really big deal. So we're coming out with a strawberry liqueur next, which is going to be so cool. I've already distilled it. So I ran it last week and I was shocked by the quality that was coming out. I got more flavor from the strawberry liqueur than I ever have from the orange liqueur. And my yield was a night and day different. I got, I think 92% back on that yield. It was nuts. Usually I get about, to put in perspective, I usually get about 65% on orange liqueur.
So do you ferment that any differently out, or what's the difference in liqueurs? Is it the way you run it? What's the difference in that?
So I would love to hear how other people make their liqueurs, because that's another thing that like you could do so many different ways. But what I'm doing is infusing it with the fruit beforehand, just like I would for gin. So infusing it with the orange, and we juice the oranges, so separate it out so that you get the juice and all of the peel pulp together. But infuse that with 140 proof, and then distill it. And I'm making the cuts, like dumping my heads and my tails, and I'm obviously just keeping the hearts, but then I go through the tails until I get to 0 proof. And once I've hit that, I keep we call it the orange oil. It's just the orange concentrate that's left in the pot. Then we keep that and add it back afterwards. So like now there's not any tails in it because it's just the concentrate. So you add it back to give it some color because, again, no artificial flavors or colors are added. So that is giving it the color and the really like juicy and like burnt orange like flavor component. And then it just needed a little bit more this last time when we were like redeveloping the recipe. So I have been infusing it with dried orange peels after. So it's really tedious. It's a lot of steps. And like, I mean, if it, I would never have come up with this because it's so like there's so much labor involved in it. But it's so popular that I can't just not do it. So it's just gonna keep it coming out.
Something you got to just suck up and do. Yeah, just deal with it.
Yeah. My husband is my distiller. He's like a part of my distilling team, and so this is his first time like getting into like the production side. Like he's always built tanks and built stills. He is like he's always owned his own business, this distillery consulting business of building this equipment. He's recommended from Vendome. Whenever people in Florida need some help, they recommend his company. So he has been helping me on the distillation side since working there because they hired both of us to come on together. And so now he's doing a lot of that tedious work for me.
Hey,
can you set up?
Dude, come on, suck it up, buttercup. We're riding,
Yeah. Thankfully, I used to do so much of these things like by myself. Like when I was like running gin, it was always by myself. So at least now I have, somebody to help me and somebody who like understands me if I get a little sassy or turn into a bitch. That he's just like.
Well, but that's awesome though. You go into it as a team. You can bounce ideas off each other. A couple. That's awesome that you've got that. So I'm sure that'll help the business do well. Definitely.
I mean, and they also know that like for a package deal, neither of us can go anywhere. So we'll always have the two of us.
Absolutely. So overall, in general, did you enjoy your time on Master Distiller? Was it something that, I mean, unfortunately, it sounds like it's all over with and done with, but it'd be cool would you go back on if they did like a spinoff? Would you go back on if they did something else?
Yeah, 100%. I had so much fun. I loved all the guys. Like Mark and Digger were a hoot and a half. Like I would love to just like hang out with them all day long. And I would love to be able to at least even just like hang out with them again. But yeah, I mean, if there was production there, hell yeah, that'd be cool. So
what other group did you film with?
The Beer Before Liquor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And that group was really great too. I will say Tyler Butcher is like, I'm constantly like, if you ever want to move to Florida, I will find you a job. I will get you a job because this guy is so good at what he does. And he's got the best personality.
He's a good dude.
Did we have Tyler on? Was Tyler the one that we interviewed from his truck?
I can't remember. I think so.
Yeah, Tyler was awesome. Yeah, I would love to have Tyler back on. Tyler was awesome.
Yeah, that is the coolest dude. Definitely the best dude that I met on the show for sure.
Yeah.
Well, hell yeah.
Yeah, he brought his whole family too. Like he had all of his kids in his hotel room. When he went on the show, I'm like, I think he has like 5 kids, and they're like all in this one hotel room.
Yeah.
Man,
hey, he is 100% a family man too. He's awesome.
Yeah, I know. So if he ever would move to Florida, I'd snatch him up in a minute.
Hell yeah.
I think he has so many good things coming for him. But yeah, I mean, all of these guys like they were so much fun to work with. I would definitely do it again.
Now, have you still keep in touch with anybody from the show, or is it busy enough? Well, awesome.
No, we have a group message of the 6 of us. So, and it stays active. I'm shocked. Like I was in a sorority in college, and those girls are gone. Like, but the like this like group of 6 like active in the chat.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's fun. We'll send each other pictures of like what we're working on, and just like kind of pick each other's brains about that. That's so nice.
Well, that is the Shiner community. I mean, in a whole, it is a very close-knit group.
Yeah.
I highly recommend you getting getting one of those groups, Clara. I think you'll have a good time with it.
Oh,
for sure. I mean, even this. I mean, like I love chatting spirits and booze, and so like this is so much fun to me.
Well, we enjoyed having you on tonight. I appreciate you giving us your time.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
If there's anything else you'd like to talk about coming up at the distillery, feel free to let us talk about it now. You got any events, anything you guys have going on, any new products, feel free.
Yeah, we have makers and shakers every second Tuesday. So a big, basically outdoor market every second Tuesday at the distillery. It's a lot of fun. And then we have some new products. So definitely stay tuned. There's so many things that are coming around the corner. We have the strawberry liqueur and the 2 other liqueurs that we're coming out with shortly after are grapefruit and passion fruit. And then these RTDs are going to kill the market. The espresso martini is so good. And those old fashions around the corner are awesome too. And then I am on Instagram at Clara Robbins, easy to find me. And then I also have an Instagram of just like distilling, just the fun distilling side. So Clara Master Distiller is that one. So if you want to watch my little videos, just around.
There you go.
Fun too. Yep.
Well, okay. We really appreciate you coming on and giving us your time, Clara.
Thank you so much.
We do not have anybody on next week. We might be on a little break for a couple of weeks. So look forward. I'll put some stuff out when we get some people scheduled, but don't really have anybody moving forward. But I appreciate everybody tuning in tonight.
Absolutely.
Y'all shine on.
Shine on.